what is the church? That's our question for today. So, in the broadest sense, the church is just the collection of people worldwide who have believed in Jesus for salvation. That is the true church, sometimes called the invisible church. It's the church that exists in the entirety of the globe. However, when you begin to zoom down to the more local level, what you have is what we sometimes call local churches or possibly regional churches. And when a person says, I go to a church, that's generally what they mean, is a specific local organization. But it's important to remember that that local organization, that local church, is part of the large, broad church in the universal sense. But the local church is where a lot of the church-type actions actually happen in a community or in a region. The New Testament uses the word sometimes in the broad sense, but it also sometimes uses it in the local sense. And really, it seems to me that a lot more uses of the word church in the New Testament actually are the use of describing local churches. Now, Jesus said that where 2 or 3 are gathered, that he's there in the midst. And so what that leads me to think is that even a church, a local church that is as few as 2 people, can still qualify as a church in the mind of God. So the church has no real minimum limit on what size it can be. And even an individual can be kind of a representative of the church in their community. So the church is extremely broad, but also very focused in that sense. Now, there is a third way in which we sometimes hear people using the term church, and it is to refer to a building. But that is not really a New Testament use. That's just an English use. And it's not a bad use. It's okay. But in the Bible, that's not what was meant, because they didn't have cathedrals or local church buildings at that time. They met in homes. And so when you read the word church, if you're in the Bible, if you're reading from the Bible, then you've got to think people. The church is always people in the biblical sense. So that is what the church is. I hope that you will consider finding a church that you could get involved with if you are not already. And that's because the church is where we grow. If you are a Christian, or you're a believer, especially if you're a new believer, you can grow to some extent on your own. But if you isolate, if you separate, if you stay outside of the church, then you are going to struggle to experience the growth that God wants for you. So the church is where you grow, and you need to be involved in church. Now, if you live in a region that doesn't have a church, send me a message. Let's talk about it. Maybe we can figure something out. You can begin a church. You can begin a Bible study that grows into a church, or you could even find a church community online if you're in an extremely remote location. So there are a number of options that you can follow in order to get involved in church, but it's so important that you do so. Well, that's what I have to say about the church. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.